We are live. Welcome to Money Monday. Today is June 29th, 2026. How the time is going quickly. We are pretty much halfway done 2026. Holy jumping, fam. But in today's episode of Money Monday, I want to go over high ticket closing today. And I want to give a bit of a backstory of how I got started in high ticket closing and how you can do it too. And the easiest ways to be able to get started for yourself. Well, you're already in this community, so that's the easiest way. And if you're watching this on another platform, you can go to school.com/remote sales 101 to be able to join the number one remote community in all of school. It's not even close, fam jam. So today we're going to be talking about closing. Even though I talked about it a little bit last week, I want to go into some nitty gritty specifics on here. When I got started closing, it was, I think it was like 2017, 2018 is when I first started learning about high ticket closing. And it wasn't called high ticket closing at the time. I was running an ads agency and I was just taking sales calls on the phone. They were just called sales calls. You weren't really called a closer or anything along those lines. It wasn't until Dan Locke popularized the phrase high ticket closer is when it became a little bit more mainstream. But even then, it was kind of small and kind of nitpicky a bit. While I was working on various different offers, I ended up landing 3 remote sales gigs in under 7 days back in June of 2022 after I stopped my advertising business, my business running ads for PRECs, personal real estate corporations, as I just didn't want to work with people in real estate anymore. I am good. I'm good, fam. But no sleight of hand to any of my real estate people out there. But you guys are not the greatest people to deal with. That is for sure. You guys enjoy your ramen noodles and broke mindsets, most of you. But a few of you guys are gems, though. But what I really want to hone in on today is that shift to closing and becoming a high quality closer as well. How to be the best closer in this community. You will be able to find in the classroom, I have lowered the levels from level 5 to level 4 for gamification reasons. And once you hit level 4 in this community, you get the remote high ticket sales mini course. It's kind of a mini course because you don't I never paid a bunch of money to learn high ticket closing. That's why I made this community. Anyone that has spent $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 just for a course in high ticket sales, like, I'm sorry, but you may have been scammed in the past. You might want to get a refund or something. Unless you're getting accountability where someone is in your corner, you have weekly calls, it's one on one or in group sessions, unless you're getting that type of accountability, it's a total waste of time just to go through a course. Like, imagine any sports player out there. Let's just use soccer, for example, since FIFA is on. Imagine if Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi, imagine if either of them got into soccer or football, whatever you want to call it. Imagine they got into that by buying a course. Do you think that they would actually learn the skills necessary in order to be the best in the world just by going through a course? Absolutely not. They need a coach, they need accountability, they need to do reps, they got to go to practice all the time, they got to have real games as well too. So it's a mix of all of this all together. And if you're not getting the accountability from your remote sales, high ticket sales guru or whoever you got coaching from, if you're not getting the accountability and if they're not actively trying to get you reps and they're not actively trying to get you onto live calls, then it's a complete waste of utter money. I never paid for any sort of high ticket sales training. You want to know why? Because the jobs that I landed, they had the accountability from the offer owner. I was pretty, like, I kind of knew what I was doing when I was looking for gigs. I didn't want to work for a company that was too big, so I could be lost in the sauce and I would not get the proper training or looked after or cared for the work that I was doing, for my recorded calls, for my conversations, for my DM setting conversations. I wanted it to have some sort of attention. I wanted some sort of accountability for any offer that I hopped onto. And that's one of the things and why I don't recommend paying for a course for high ticket closing. You guys are in the right community. You guys just need live call access, Q&As, all that sort of stuff in order to get better at closing and also to look at game files. That's something that all sports players also do in order to improve is that they look at previous games. They look at the tapes. They look at who they're playing against. They look at how they played the last game. They always look at tapes and they review in order to get better. It's just reverse engineering the whole sports process. That is how you should be taking remote sales. You should be taking it very, very seriously as well. So, just to kind of roll back a little bit, and I wanted to find a gig that had the best of both worlds, where it was making just enough money, where we were all very happy, where the company wasn't too big either, where you can get lost or you can just get out hired, all that sort of stuff. So I ended up landing a really solid closing gig on an offer that was making, I think at the time, Valley was doing around $50,000 to $75,000 a month or so. It's in that no man's zone of 50 to 100,000, but there wasn't enough closers on that offer. And I ended up going from appointment setter to closing because the closer ended up getting sick. And I had booked that appointment and I already had a relationship with the prospect who was going on to that call. So I went on to the call when I got asked because I was already closing part time for Bushel Kutwal, who is a 7-figure Comma Club award winner through ClickFunnels. I was already closing on one of his offers. And my client Valley, he ended up asking me if I can go from appointment setting to closing. And I was like, yeah, I'm already getting warmed up. In that first call, that very first call, I ended up closing a PIF, a pay in full on that very, very first call. And the rest was kind of history with that offer. I ended up working on that as a closer for over 3 years, made a lot of money. I helped Valley end up getting a 7-figure Comma Club award winner. We grew, we closed millions of dollars on that offer. It was a lot of fun, but that was the best of both worlds. So we went from around 50 to $75,000 a month, and sometimes our months went to 125, 150,000. Sometimes if we ended up counting all the money, MRR, all that sort of stuff, it pushed over to $200,000 a month that we were getting on that offer. And there wasn't that many of us on the offer. There was like me and maybe like one other part-time closer, one triager, and about like 3 or 4 setters. Like sometimes even like 2 or 3 setters. There wasn't that many people on that offer, and there was more than enough wealth to be pushed around to everyone that was on that offer. So in order to be the best closer, you have to be patient. You have to be patient. Wait in the wings. The best way to land a closing role, guys, literally, like this is the secret sauce here. This is the ultimate secret sauce. The best way to land a closing gig is to jump into an offer as an appointment setter, set for 2 to 6 months. Sometimes it could push up to 6 months. Sometimes you could be lucky like me and only have to do maybe a month and a half or 2 months before to prove yourself, depending on the offer owner, depending on the size of the company, etc., and how old it is too. You can end up being a closer or triager or switching your roles pretty quickly on the offer that you're working on as an appointment setter. You can get upgraded because you know how annoying it is to hire people. I don't think you guys understand what it's like to hire people. You can ask myself, you can ask Ethan, you can ask the dozens of other business owners in this community what it's like to hire people. It's not fun. It's draining. You have to go through all of these interviews. Sometimes you have to like trust your gut feeling on something, or someone doesn't have the right experience, but they have a good character, or they may have a so-so character, but all the great experience. You have to make all these hard decisions as a manager. And I remember hiring people that were just like or in the process of hiring people, and they just like wow, they just weren't it. They weren't it because they didn't understand the background of the company. They didn't understand the client avatar. They didn't understand who they were selling to. And they might have closed maybe millions of dollars on other offers, but they just, I don't know, they couldn't communicate with the audience for whatever reason, or the prospects of the lead. They couldn't communicate with them specifically. So you have to be very, very careful of who you hire or bring on. But that's why offer owners, they love hiring from within, because if when you go from appointment setting, if you're working as an appointment setter on an offer for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, you know the ins and outs of that product, offer, or service that you're selling or booking appointments for. And you're communicating with people every single day that are buyers, that are looking to buy, and also people that are not interested. So you know all the buying signs necessary in order to get them to book an appointment, but not only to book an appointment, but to get the sale. Sometimes, crew, like this is real talk here. Sometimes booking a sales appointment is sometimes harder than actually getting the close. That barrier for booking the appointment in the prospect's mind is actually more costly than the money. And it's hard for some people to fathom that sometimes, but I've seen that. Like usually about 1 out of 8 or 1 out of every 10 bookings, it's much harder to get them just to book a call than it is for them to whip out their 16-digit credit card number. I don't know, what it is. Humans are weird in that sort of sense. But crew, it's so much easier, way easier, me as a sales manager to upgrade someone that was appointment setting to being a triager or a dialer and then being a closer. It's way easier to do it because I don't have to teach about the offer, product, or service because you already know about it and you already talk to the customers all day long as an appointment setter. It's an easy upgrade, but it's a different type of personality that you need and a different skill set that you need in order to go from appointment setting to closing. And that's why being in a community like this, hopping onto the lives like this, like Money Mondays, getting some good information and getting some good energy to be able to start your week in the right way as well. Getting motivation, because motivation will only take you so far. It's all about the consistency, the mindset to be able to get you through it and to become the person that you want to be as well. Because here's where you are right now. This is where you want to be. What are the steps necessary in order to get to become the person that you want to be? That's what you have to keep in mind. And that's the same thing for closing, appointment setting, sales, and even life too. That's the big thing with all of that. So, crew, that is the ultimate hack in order to become a remote high ticket closer. Be an appointment setter first on that offer. Have a good relationship with the offer owner. Have a good relationship with your sales manager, because shit's gonna hit the fan eventually. Someone's gonna get sick, or there's gonna be an argument, or there's egos that get involved. It's sales where you have big egos. So when a bunch of big egos end up clashing, someone might quit, or they could get into an argument. Someone gets sick. That is the time for you to be able to pounce. Opportunities arise to those that seek them. So you need to put yourself in the position in order to reap those benefits. Because whenever I hired someone that had no idea what the offer was or what my client was even doing in that field, they would never last long. But whenever I upgraded from within, after I've seen the appointments that prove themselves, it was a way easier transition getting them to become a closer than having a closer try to understand and fulfill on the offer, if you so to say. Because the skill sets of closing is easily transferable as long as you're getting the right instruction and the right accountability. And that's what this community is for. And I just want to give a quick shout out to those that hopped into VIP and premium over the last weekend for that sale. Congratulations. The price is now increased. We're now at $247 per month for premium, and now we're at $1997 per year for VIP. And it's the accountability, guys. VIP pays for itself with 2 or 3 closes. If you think you can land 2 or 3 closes within a 12-month span, VIP pays for itself. Some train for thought, some food for thought. Because if you're closing a 5,000 deal, for example, $5,000 deal, and you get 10% commission on that $5,000 deal. That's $500. If I help you close 2 extra deals in the next 12 months, VIP pays for itself, or at least it used to pay for itself. Now it's gone from 2 closes over the next 12 months to 4 closes. If I can't help you close 4 deals, then there's something wrong. There's something deeply wrong in some sort of process. I've helped numerous people cross the line to make over $10,000 per month as a remote sales rep. So it's really, the ball is in your court on this one. If you think that you have the skills deep down and you think that you can close an extra 2 to 4 deals in the next 12 months just by hopping onto the lives and going through some of the classroom material. Guys, some of the best classroom material in there is the revamped live closer vault. The live closer vault has 10 calls in there, crew. It has 10 calls in there that is worth $50,000. It's game tape, crew. You can literally steal my whole sales process. You can steal my script. You can steal everything from within there. And honestly, like it's so crazy to me that people don't take more advantage of this because game tape, crew. Game tape is what makes superstars. Reviewing game tape, not even your own game tape, but reviewing other people's game tape. One of my favorite movies out there is a movie called Miracle. It's about the 1980 U.S. Olympic men's hockey team. And there is a hockey coach on there. His name was, I think it was like Brooks or something like that, Garth Brooks or something. Earl Brooks, or I forget what the guy's name, but he was the head coach of the U.S. men's national hockey team. And he got his team, and he also reviewed the Soviet Union game tapes because the Soviet Union was the best hockey team in the world at that time. Russia, the Soviet Union. And he reviewed game tapes like no other. He was one of the first coaches to review game tapes of the opposing teams because not because he wanted to copy the whole thing, he wanted to see what they would play like. And it's the same thing with when you end up getting the live closer vault. If you get the live closer vault, if you join VIP Premium, you get full access to it. But if you don't want to join either of those, it's $555 in the classroom. It's worth every bang of your buck. It's $50,000 worth of closes. You can steal my whole process, like I said. But reviewing the game tapes of other successful closers are going to put you at a different level, mostly because you're going to then receive the same energy of that close. So it's like you're in the same room as the close itself, and that energy is then going to magnify for when you hop onto your calls, and you're going to feel that same energy like, oh, I just saw this game tape, I just saw this closes, I have that same energy in here. And then you're going to exert that energy yourself so that you can make more commissions, so that you can make more closes, so that you can get more deals across the line. Crew, this is Money Monday. This is June 29th, 2026. If you're not making the money that you want to be making right now, you need to join VIP and Premium. The next 3 people who message me, who DM me on school that are wanting to join VIP and Premium, while the prices have increased, like there's nothing I could do from that. Like you guys had 3 days to be able to sort your shit out, to sort it all out. there's nothing I could do. Like the price has gone up. Like it's gone. It's gone from 127 to 247 a month for premium, and now it is from $997 a year to $1997 a year for VIP. VIP has the guarantee. Like it's literally a guarantee that you're going to be making $10,000 per month as a remote sales rep. Like I don't understand why more people aren't hopping onto that. The insane results that we've seen from the wins speak them for themselves. Over 100 testimonials of people not only landing their first remote sales gigs, but upgrading their remote sales gigs and making over 10, 5, 10, 15, $20,000 per month as a remote sales rep. Or if you're a remote business owner and you want to get more deals across the line, it's perfect. It is absolutely perfect to join VIP and Premium because you will get that accountability, and I will make sure you get across the line. Like, guys, look at this community. Look at Ethan, who's in this community. Ethan, I've helped out one of the most out of anyone that's in here. You see how active he's inside of this community? I don't pay Ethan. He's not an employee of mine. He's in here because he knows what I do is the best sales coaching and the best sales training out there. It's not even close. I've gotten this kid from zero, not really knowing what the fuck is going on as an appointment setter, to making over $10,000 a month in commissions as an appointment setter, and he ended up getting a job upgrade as a setting manager on 2 different offers, on multi 7-figure offers. He was a sales manager for. Crew, it is time for you to take accountability. Hop into VIP and Premium. I know the price has already gone up, but guess what? You're going to be working a bunch of times harder anyway. The price doesn't even really matter at that point. It's the accountability. It's to ensure that you can get to a level. Because, guys, like, we only have so much time left. We only have so much time left in this realm. And if we're not full sending right now, when your energy is at its best, like I'm 33 right now, like I'm not going to have all of this energy for the rest of my life. Like I don't have the same energies in my 20s, and I definitely don't have the same energy as when I was a teenager either. I'm in my 30s, and in 10 years from now, I'm going to be 43, 44 years old. I'm not going to have the same energy as what I did right now. So now is the time for me to be able to help out as many people as possible. So it's a good time for you guys to hop in if you're in your 20s, if you're teens, or if you're even in your 30s, 40s, or 50s. It's a good time to hop in because I'm not going to be young forever, and neither are you. You think that high ticket closing, you think that remote sales reps and appointment setting, you think that this stuff is going to be around forever? It's not going to be around forever. Now is the time to be able to take action on it. And if you want to get there faster, getting the accountability of someone who's already closed over $2 million dollars in the high ticket space for clients from working in over 60 different countries from around the world, that is the way to be able to move forward with it. Sucks to suck, but crew, if you want to take this seriously, you have to jump into VIP and premium. You have to be able to do it because if you want that accountability, if you want someone in your corner to get to over $10,000 per month as a remote sales rep, the time is now to be able to do it. I'm not going to be doing this forever. So, crew, this is Money Monday for June 29th, 2026. Crazy, crazy. We're already 6-7 minutes over for this live, but guys, I love doing this. I love doing this for you guys. I love having you guys in this remote sales community. It's over 519 people that are in here. 519 of you remote savages. 519. And if you haven't booked your complimentary onboarding call yet, please do so if you're a brand new member. Or if you haven't hopped onto your onboarding call yet, please book it. You can go to the Start Here post or you can DM me for the link and I'll send it right over because I want to meet every single one of you guys. You guys are like something that's missing is that personalized human touch, especially as things start to go more and more online, as more AI starts to come on, that personalized human touch. And trust me, I don't bite. You can just look at the other people who have done the onboarding. And trust me, I don't bite for that one. But crew, happy Monday. I hope that this gives you some motivation, a nice kick in the butt to be able to slay your week, get out there, have some fun, and join VIP and Premium. Just play, but not really. Get the accountability necessary so that you can become a top 1% remote sales rep, so that you can become a top 1% closer, just like myself, just like Ethan, just like other members inside of this community. Ciao for now. Have a great Monday. I'll see you guys on the inside.